Hello, I'm Lisa Graham, and I am really excited to share my portfolio with you. It is a labor of love and a strong culmination of a year's worth of a master's program. And I think it really reflects some of the things that I've learned and focused on throughout all of my courses. So, to start with, before I jump into my tabs and what kind of my highlight reel is, I just want to say that I was really excited to partner with someone who also works in a district office, and she was a technology director. So, we were really able to look at these assignments from our perspective and our roles. And that wasn't necessarily just the classroom point of view. While we included the classroom point of view in a lot of what we did, we also had to look at it kind of from that 30,000 feet angle of what are we doing in the administration world. So Dina, thank you. She's been an awesome help, and I think we worked really well together. In my information that I'm going to share in my highlights, I'm really going to share kind of some of my candidate information, and then really the meat of what I did was here under my activities. So not a lot under my candidate information, except I wanted to point out that not only did I create a technology philosophy throughout this program, but I think I kind of had one brewing in the background just a little bit that I just didn't know about. So my technology philosophy is that technology has to be integrated with the learning and the curriculum. And just handing out devices or having a strong technology program doesn't work as well as it could if it's being used as a standalone and it's not integrated and blended into the learning that's happening in the classroom. And teachers really, if they're maximizing their use of technology, it's actually changing the way that they're teaching. So that part was something that I really liked to dig deep in. And then under leadership philosophy, I kind of tied in quite a few things here. I've always known that I've been in the trenches. That's kind of how I lead. I like to get in and do things at the same level that staff is doing it at, and even at the same level that students are working at. So under the leadership piece, I think that part wasn't very revolutionary, except I blended in a lot of what I learned about adult learning theory and tied those together. And I think they've set me on a different course, understanding more about adult learning theory and how, because a lot of what I do interacts with adults, tying that into what I do has been really important. So then the other piece that I wanted to point out was under my activity evidence. Um, we're going to go back to this while I'm talking. I found that I was a little intimidated when it came to creating the videos with the articles and the trainings all together. To start with, that was overwhelming. And by the time I got done, I was feeling pretty accomplished and that it really made sense and it actually wasn't as overwhelming as I thought. So the one thing I would have liked to have done, the one piece that I've learned along the way is interaction with people in real life is so much different than doing trainings online. And I definitely prefer that style, but I also learned I talk a lot and didn't really give pauses to get interaction with all the people that I was training. So I tried to improve on that as I went through more trainings along the way. The first one was with my personal tech director, and he doesn't talk a lot. So I knew I kind of had to fill the silences, but it didn't come across as a great training. I chose to leave it in and not redo it because that's the reality of what it was. It was raw and genuine. So the other thing that I tried to do under the activities was I tried to tie the articles to the activities that I was doing the presentations and the trainings on. So the articles correlate with those. And for the first time, I felt empowered to disagree with an article that I read. Even though the research was there, I found a lot of holes in it. And I felt like even to identify that I don't have to take a peer-reviewed article for what it is presenting, and I can come up with kind of my own opinions on the process and the end results. I felt really good about that and really understand the article process a lot more, and I think I'll be integrating that more into my role now. So that part was fun for the first time to kind of be contradictory. And then one of the last pieces that I really spent a lot of time and energy developing because it's actually my world. So this isn't a theoretical or a hypothetical. I think I'm going to take my professional development plan and I'm going to move that into the arena that I'm working in and start to use that as a structure and a framework for how I present professional development to. First, we go through our collective bargaining agreement and make sure that all of our PD is mutually agreed upon, and then we present it out and start to roll out with what we have planned. Having that structure and that framework here that really identifies all the key pieces of where does funding come from? What does a systematic plan look like? What does the full rollout look like? What does the full year look like? Are we doing any PD that's kind of one and done, because we want to avoid those and we want to build on what we're doing? That part was really powerful, and I think it gives me a tool now that I can go to my teachers union, to my teachers themselves, to my superintendent, to my school board, and I can show them, here's what we have planned and here's what we have for the year, and then here's the entire structure of the whole thing. So that part was really powerful for me. And then finally, under extra resources, I divided them into two worlds of what would I use in my role, and then what would teachers use, and how could I work with them. And I felt like that was really helpful. So overall, I feel like this was a really powerful process. I loved that this was our culminating event because I think it was really applicable, pushed me out of my comfort zone, which is kind of the theme of the whole master's program that I've been in. And I'm walking away with something that I feel really proud of. And that's it. Thank you.